Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I have more of a story time video and an update on one of my Louis Vuitton pieces that I have. I recently had a quality issue with it, so I kind of went through that whole experience. I wanted to share my experience and share what happened so that you guys can have a good expectation around any sort of Louis Vuitton quality issue you might have. Fun fact, I actually already filmed this video. I did, and that's why I look different from my thumbnail, because I went through the whole shebang. Okay, I did my stuff for my thumbnail. I thought I was filming my video, and then I did this little celebration at the end. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Clearly I didn't hit the record button during the main part of my video filming, and I hit record when I was celebrating. So I decided, instead of refilming it in that same kind of sit down concept, I'd do it as a little bit more of a casual video, a little bit more like a vlog. I have other clips that I took along the journey anyway, which are much more casual and vlog style, so I figured it'll probably go better with a whole video anyway. But for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to do these luxury fashion videos here on YouTube. I share hauls and reviews, but at the end of the day, I share my journey so we can all mindfully curate our own collections. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts. All of your support definitely means a lot to me. Start with the clips of when I first found the issue. Hey guys, so I just took out my Louis Vuitton shirt. This is like one of my favorite items from Vuitton, and I noticed something really devastating. I don't know if you can spot it, but in fact, one of the little hardware pieces has fallen off. This is like, Houston, we have a problem. Like, how, I don't exactly know when it came off. I did take this piece to dry cleaning once, and I don't remember if it was on or off when I wore it or when it came back from dry cleaning. So I don't know if it came off when I wore it or if it came off during dry cleaning. Too much time has passed for dry cleaning for me to like even bring it up with them. But like, look. This is terrible. Hey guys, just wanted to share an update on my Louis Vuitton issue with my shirt. So I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should like look for a hardware piece to fix it myself or if Vuitton would fix it. So I reached out to my SA first just to see what should be done. If this is normal, like what am I supposed to do? And my SA looked into it and luckily was able to find another one, and he was like, that's not normal, that shouldn't happen in like 6 months of having the piece. So he ordered another one for an exchange, which I'm really glad that's how it worked out. Otherwise, I was even thinking about trying to look for that hardware piece. Like, it didn't seem like it would be the hardest one to find. It wasn't like one of the fleur-de-lis that fell off. That would have been a lot harder, but it looked like a rivet kind of hardware piece that might not be too difficult. So I was like, okay, I guess worst case, I would like look for my own, try to fix it on my own. But I am glad my SA was able to find another one to basically replace it and do an exchange. So it's in the boutique. It arrived in the boutique like yesterday. So I'm going today to pick it up, and I will report back on how that whole experience goes. So my issue was with a ready-to-wear piece, and I've actually recently gone and picked this up. This is actually the replacement for my original piece. I'm not going to open it because you already know what it looks like, and it's the same exact thing. So that's why it's still in its box. I need to actually put it back in my closet. I'm thrilled to have it back because some of you might remember how much I've been raving about that t-shirt. It's one of my favorite clothing items in my closet, so I love wearing it every time. I've been wearing it a ton since I got it, and it was actually really recently where I discovered that one of those pieces was missing. I think the whole thing took about 2 weeks from the point in time that I recognized it or I noticed it, to reaching out to my SA, to them deciding to order a replacement for me, and then me picking it up. I think it was about a couple weeks where I was able to exchange my item. The shocking thing for me was that actually when I went to go pick it up, I just asked, like, I feel like I was lucky that there was a replacement, the same item in my size, still available, but like what would have happened if it wasn't? If it was a limited piece and it's already sold out and couldn't get replaced. And my essay was honestly like, I don't know, because we don't offer repairs on ready-to-wear. Like, they don't offer hardware repair on ready-to-wear. I thought that was very interesting. I guess I assumed that they would do some level of repair for ready-to-wear items. Maybe that's an assumption that carried over from Chanel and things like that, but I didn't really think about that when I was purchasing my ready-to-wear piece, because I sort of always thought that it would be part of the aftercare service. So that was definitely an interesting tidbit of information of their policy. I do know there are lots of repairs that happen for their leather goods and small leather goods, right? For the zipper or some part of the hardware, or if you need things to be like touched up or redone from just use, right? He said, if there really wasn't anything available, then he probably would reach out to see if they have the hardware available so that they can try and fix it or facilitate that kind of fixing, or that they would just let you exchange it for something else. I wanted to share that so that you can have that expectation as well when you purchase ready-to-wear pieces from Louis Vuitton. I appreciate that they stood behind their product and sort of their brand promise, if you will, the level of quality that they expect. And they acknowledged that they didn't expect that to happen within 6 months of purchasing an item. So they gladly offered to exchange it for me, to get a replacement for me. That whole part of it was very seamless. I thought maybe there would be a little bit of back and forth or having to explain and all of that stuff, but it was just, oh, that's very interesting, let me find out what we can do. And then the next thing that came back was, hey, we're going to replace it for you, already placed the order for it to get shipped to our store, and I'll let you know when it comes in so you can pick it up. I mean, I was like, oh, this is like really seamless, this was really easy. So I definitely like that part of the whole process. I wasn't super thrilled that it happens in the first place, not going to lie, but at least the kind of follow-up from the issue was pretty flawless. So when I got the replacement, I did do a thorough once over in the store to make sure that everything looks like it's going to stay on. I did notice there was one difference on the new piece versus the original piece that I had, and that was the stitching. So on the neckline, there are rivets as well as the fleur-de-lis kind of charms, and those charms were sewn onto the collar versus the rivets, which I believe were kind of pressed together. And on the original t-shirt that I had, if you flipped over the collar like this, you saw the stitch marks on the collar, so you could see how and where they stitched the little charms on the neckline. On the new piece, you don't see those stitch marks anymore, which means they sewed the charms onto the collar before they finished this overall kind of collar or hem here, and they hid the strings basically. So it is a higher level of finish on this newer piece versus the older one. Nobody knows why that's different. Nobody knows. I might have just gotten such an early run of that style that maybe they hadn't really perfected the production. or it might have just been a one-off, like who knows, but that was the only difference that I noticed. Everything else looked like it was stuck on really well, so I was really happy with that. You know, I'm happy that I was able to exchange it. I'm really happy that I have it back in my collection. Will it make me wary of wearing it? I don't think so. I really like the piece, so I'll continue to wear it, and should something happen to it again in the future, I'll figure it out at that point in time. This experience hasn't dramatically altered my perception, if you will, of Louis Vuitton quality when it comes to ready-to-wear. It's something that I will keep in mind, the fact that they don't do repairs on ready-to-wear. So if there is something that is heavily embellished or has lots of hardware or something going on, I think I'll think about that before I decide to make that purchase. I think if it happens all the time and every single item is like that, then it would definitely deteriorate my overall impression of a brand. But based on my experience so far, I am pretty content with how all of it worked out. And again, I'm happy to have it again in my collection. So I will continue to wear my shirt, my favorite shirt, I was gonna say, and I will report back if there are any other issues. Let me know if you have any other questions. Feel free to leave them down below, or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. Let me know if you've had any issues with Louis Vuitton quality, whether it's for leather goods, small leather goods, shoes, ready-to-wear, accessories, all of that stuff. I think it's good to get different stories because they share different perspectives, and then sometimes it's enough to convince someone off the brand, right? So definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new fashion related videos every Sunday and Wednesday. So until next time, bye!